Yo, what's going on guys, Chadley here, and today we have the update for our Wheel of Pain Amara. This is a Phasezerker phase grass build, and it uses some pretty interesting guns that were originally not really used all that much, but now they're definitely starting to get a little bit more traction, which is pretty awesome because these guns are a ton of fun. But real quick before we get into the guns, I just want to say welcome to everybody who's new to the channel. Over the past week, there has been well over 1,000 subscribers, so if you are new, welcome to the channel. But otherwise, let's go ahead and jump right into our guns. And then obviously, this is what the build is kind of named after, and we're going to be using a wagon wheel with 100% ASE. I highly recommend 100 ASE. A consecutive hits probably could work, but I think 100 ASE would definitely work a little bit better. But that's going to be our main gun for this build. And then moving down, we're going to have a corrosive hyperfocus. I recommend getting 100% ASE or consecutive hits on this thing. This is going to allow you to just melt through any armored targets like Wotan. You can kill him so fast with this gun, and this is probably one of my favorite guns in the game right now. I absolutely love the hyperfocus, but I definitely recommend getting your hands on that. Also, just get your hands on all the different elements if possible, whether it's consecutive hits or action skill end, either or is perfectly fine. And then moving down, the Health Shock. This gun is absolutely insane. It does not care about armor, even though if you're using like the shock one per se, like it just doesn't care. This is what I use on Valkyries, and I just have consecutive hits on it. It just tears through them, especially if you hit your crits. You're just gonna absolutely melt them. This is definitely one of the better single target guns for this build, and I highly recommend getting your hands on this, especially because it's easy to farm from Gigamind. And then finally, our fourth weapon is kind of up to you. With these three, you can get through the true takedown. Absolutely no problem. You seriously only need these. This fourth one, you can put it to whatever you want. I just like using the unseen threat for a lot of single target damage in like 1 to 2 shots. But you guys can seriously use anything. Some other good options would be like a Queen's Call for element matching, and you guys can just spray away. Like this works pretty well on Wotan, this particular Queen's Call. Otherwise, you can use like another hyper focus, a Cutsman, seriously, whatever. The clairvoyance is actually pretty decent on this build as well, and I really do like this gun. So sometimes I'll switch that out for the unseen threat. But seriously, this fourth gun, completely up to you. Use whatever gun you would like. And then for our shield, we're going to be using the Transformer still. So with the most recent DLC, we got the Old God Shield, and this definitely helps us do a little bit more damage, but just the absorb chance and turning shock into shields with the Transformer just makes it a much better survivability option, and we don't get constant lifesteal when using the wagon wheel just because it's not elemental, but otherwise, that's the main reason I like using the Transformer. Sometimes I'll throw the Old God on, and it does work perfectly fine, but you do lose just a tiny bit of survivability, so it's completely up to you. If you want to do like a little bit more damage, put on the Old God. If you want just like the ease of surviving, just keep the Transformer on. It's completely up to you. And then for our grenade, I just still like to use its Pits. I'll switch this out for whatever element I need to. For the takedown, I use bonus corrosive on here and bonus shock on our Transformer, but just any combination of those two elements for the takedown is perfect. And then I'm still using my level 50 Phasezerker with 5 in Anima, and the skills on Phasezerker don't really matter. It's Anima Conflux and the Green Clarity. Those aren't really super necessary, but I personally like Anima the best just because it increases the status effect duration, which helps you keep your stacks on all of these consecutive hits guns, and also allows you to stack up the Pearl even easier, so you can maintain that like max damage bonus at all times. So that's personally what I recommend for the skill on Phasezerker, but it really doesn't matter. Just get one with passives that you like and you'll be good to go. And then like I said, we're going to be using the Pearl. If you guys really don't want to use the Pearl, it's not a big deal. You can just throw on a Snowdrift Victory Rush and you'll be perfectly fine and be able to move a little bit quicker, but you are going to get the most damage out of the Pearl, obviously. But otherwise, let's go ahead and jump over to our skill tree. So our main tree with this build is still Mystical Assault. Basically, not much has changed except for the adding of the additional skill points from 53 to 57. So now we're going to have 5 in Do Harm, because this is going to help our ties that bind. 3 points into Fast Hands, so you get that reload. 1 point into Violent Tapestry, just for that effect chance. And then we're going to do 4 points into Alacrity for the reload. You can basically get an instant reload on like the Wagon Wheel and some guns with Fast Hands and Alacrity. It's a great combo. 3 points into Transcend for that bonus crit damage. And then we're going to move down and do 3 points from Rest. This really helps out our Health Shock. You can basically start firing it instantly. It's awesome. And then Laid Bare for that damage increase. 3 points into Wrath for the gun damage. 3 points into Awakening to boost our Do Harm damage. 1 point into Remnant, just because of that Overkill Orb is nuts. And then finally 1 point into Avatar for the bonus rest stacks and activating our skill twice. And then our augment from the blue tree is going to be Soul Sap, so we can get some lifesteal on whatever target that we phase grasp, even if there's no ties that binds. So if you just shoot a lone guy in a phase grasp with the wagon wheel, you are going to get health back, which is really nice to have because we need every little bit we can since it is non-elemental. So then on to our second skill tree of Fist in the Elements. We're going to be using Anima, 5 points into there for that status effect duration, so we can keep those consecutive hits going super easy. 3 points into Steady Hands, 5 points into Tempest for the bonus elemental and shock damage. 1 point into Illuminated Fist, so when you have the wagon wheel out and you need just like that spur of the moment healing on a close target, you can melee them and you will get it to proc sustainment and you'll get some health back, which is awesome. And then 1 point into Dread, 3 points into Indiscriminate, 1 point into Deep Well. It's not going to help our wagon wheel, but our other guns definitely going to help out. 1 point into Catharsis. The skill isn't that great, but when you're using non-elemental weapons, you can get some pretty clutch healing out of Catharsis, which is pretty nice to have. And then finally 2 points into Sustainment. This is more than enough when you're using your elemental weapons to basically tank through anything. And then we're going to be using Ties That Bind, and our action skill element is going to be Shock, as it gets the most benefit out of Tempest. And then finally, our last 3 points are going to go into Personal Space. This is one of Amara's best skills. It does way more than 36% when you're closer than like 10-15 feet. At that 10 to 15 range is going to be that 36%, and then it will slowly drop off further than that. But most of the time, you're right up against the enemies you're shooting, so you're going to get more than that 36%. This is a must-have in this build. So that's going to wrap up the guns and our skills. Otherwise, we're going to run through True Takedown. I can just walk you through how I play this build and the best way to go about it. We're obviously going to be going into True Takedown. We have enemy fire rate and assault rifle damage, so nothing's going to be helping us out. And like always, I will see you guys at the gate. All right, we made it to the gate. I like to just start off with a phase grasp on these guys and then immediately go for our jetpack guys. This is basically what I do on any character, as the jetpack guys are some of the most annoying that you can have. And there's one more over here somewhere, but regardless, I'm just going to go for this heavy, because if you ties a heavy and then blow up their backpack, everything around him is just going to instantly die. I finally found this jetpack guy, and we can take him out. Looks like we have one more up there, so once our cooldown is good to go, we can do that and just spray his backpack, and everybody's going to die. One more, and we can take out this whole group in just a couple clips. And right here, there's a huge horde and a heavy, so I'm going to be aiming for the backpack, and everybody is dead. If you guys are using Ties That Bind, make sure you are aiming for the heavies in the group. We finished killing everybody, and at the Kraken part, what you guys are going to want to do is if a heavy spawns in the group, you're going to aim for him. But since there's not, I'm just going to shoot at the Kraken after tizing him. And I'm just going to pull out the Health Shock and just melt him away. And we're good to go. I'm just use the Health Shock to break all of the legs. But like I said, if there is a heavy in the group that spawns around the Kraken, Ties That Bind him and shoot his backpack, and everything, including the Kraken, will just instantly die. Obviously, that can't happen every time because sometimes they don't spawn there, just like we saw. But otherwise, if there is, which a good number of times there is, just go ahead and do that, and you'll have super easy time with the Kraken. Now that we're dropping down to Valkyries, all you got to do is wait for all three to come down, grasp the middle guy, and shoot a couple times into the guy you ties, and you'll be good to go. Depends how much stacks you have of Do Harm, depends on how many wagon wheel shots that you have. If you like stack it up before you drop down, you can seriously shoot one time and nobody will have any shields left. And then for this part, I like to just use the health shock. And if you aim at their crits, it's just going to melt away. Super easy. And then immediately pull out the wagon wheel, get your action skills going, and then just ties the next group. And it's just rinse and repeat for every single group of Valkyries. And yeah, it's that easy. I will see you when all 3 are ready to kill. All right, we have all the Valkyries jumping down now. Hopefully Rhoda will cooperate and jump up here with us. They are not. So I'm just going to tie these 2, and they're going to die in less than 2 clips. And then finally, I'm just going to pull out the health shock and finish off Rhoda. So just like that, we are done with Valkyries. Now, if Rhoda cooperates and jumps up here, if you ties all of them in a clip, they will just insta-die with the wagon wheel. It works very, very well. Unfortunately, Rhoda just does not like to cooperate every single time. So like always, that is going to wrap it up for our build video. So if you guys enjoyed Wheel of Pain Amara, make sure to leave a thumbs up on the video to let me know. It really helps me out. If you guys want to see more content in the future, hit that subscribe button. Once again, thank you to all of you who have been joining the channel over the past week or so. It's been awesome. It's good to have you guys here. Also, if you didn't know, I do stream over on Twitch every single night and would love to see more of you guys over there. We've had a ton of people coming over recently and it's amazing. So hopefully some more of you guys will show up. But otherwise, I will catch you all in the next video. See ya.